Captain Ho stood on the bridge of the horizon's edge and watched the alien ships appear on the screen. His heart beat faster, but he kept his face calm. This was the moment humanity had been preparing for. First contact with the Empire. "They're beautiful," Lieutenant Park whispered beside him. She was right. The ships looked like silver arrows, sleek and deadly. They moved through space like hunting birds. "Open a channel," Ho said. His voice was steady. He had practiced this 1,000 times. The screen flickered. A face appeared, and Ho forgot to breathe for a second. The looked like a fox that had become a person. She had golden fur, sharp amber eyes, and tall pointed ears that swiveled toward the camera. She wore a dark uniform covered in medals and symbols. "I am Admiral of House," she said. The translation device made her voice sound smooth and clear. "I speak for the Empire, who commands this vessel." "Captain Ho of Earth," he replied. He stood. "I speak for humanity. We come in peace, seeking friendship between our peoples." His ears twitched. Was that good or bad? Ho had studied the files, but there was so little information about body language. "Your message was received," said. "Your species is young, but you show courage. The Empire is willing to talk." Relief washed through Ho. Months of preparation had led to this moment. "Then let us meet face to face, Admiral, as friends do." The translation seemed to take longer this time. Ears flicked forward, then back. "Yes," she said slowly. "We will meet. Prepare your docking bay." The screen went dark, let out a breath she had been holding. "That went well, sir." "Maybe," Ho said. He noticed the ships were moving into a new formation. "Keep scanning them. I want to know if anything changes." 2 hours later, Ho stood in the docking bay with his honor guard. He wore his best uniform, the one with all his medals from the border wars. His palms were sweating, but he wiped them dry. This had to go perfectly. The shuttle landed with barely a sound. When the door opened, Admiral stepped out, and Ho understood why she commanded a fleet. She moved like liquid metal, graceful and dangerous. Her tail swayed behind her, thick and bushy like a fox's tail. 6 guards followed her, each carrying weapons that hummed with power. "Admiral," Ho said. He bowed, the way the cultural files had suggested. "Welcome to the horizon's edge." His amber eyes studied him. Up close, she was taller than he expected, nearly 6 feet. Her fur caught the light, gleaming like gold coins. "Captain," she said, "you honor us with your greeting." Ho smiled and extended his hand. This was the human gesture of friendship, palm open, showing he carried no weapon. "I hope this is the start of a lasting friendship between our peoples." Looked at his hand. Her ears went flat against her head. For a moment, nothing happened. Then she reached out and took his hand in hers. Her palm was warm, covered in short fur. Her claws were retracted, but he could feel them there just beneath the surface. The moment their hands touched, something beeped. A small device on his collar flashed red, then blue, then settled on a pulsing green. Her eyes went very wide. Her tail went completely still. "Admiral," one of her guards said. Stared at Ho, her grip on his hand tightened. "You," she whispered. Then she said something in her own language, fast and sharp. All 6 of her guards dropped to one knee. Their heads bowed. Ho felt his stomach drop. "Admiral, is something wrong?" Released his hand and stepped back. Her whole body was stiff, her tail held high and rigid. "Captain," she said, and her voice was different now, softer and formal. I did not expect this." "Expect what?" Moved closer to Ho, her hand near her weapon. "The translation," said. She touched the device on her collar. "When you said friend and offered your hand, the device, it translated the gesture as a bonding proposal." She looked at Ho with something like wonder and shock mixed together. "You have claimed me as your mate." The docking bay went silent. Ho's brain stopped working. What?" "Among my people, such a gesture in such a formal setting is sacred," continued. Her ears were still flat, but now they trembled slightly. "You have declared yourself as my bonded one, my husband." No, 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 Ho said quickly. He held up both hands. There's been a mistake. I meant friend, just friend, ally. His expression changed. Her ears went even flatter. You reject the bond. One of her guards made a low growling sound. His hand was definitely on her weapon now. Sir, she said quietly, their ship's weapons just powered up. Ho's mind raced. The cultural files had said valued honor above everything. They were warriors. They took insults seriously, very seriously. I'm not rejecting anything, he said carefully. I think there's been a translation error, a mistake in the machine. The device does not make mistakes, another guard said. This one was female with scars across her muzzle. If it declared a bond claim, then a bond claim was made. Held up one hand and her guards went quiet. She looked at Ho, her amber eyes searching his face. Captain, she said softly, do you know what you have done? No, Ho admitted, but I know I didn't mean to cause offense. Please, can we talk about this? His tail finally moved, a slow swish back and forth. You are honest, that is good. She took a breath. Very well, we will discuss this situation. But know that among my people, a bond claim cannot be easily dismissed. To do so would bring great dishonor. I understand, Ho said, though he didn't, not really. Turned to her guards and spoke in her own language. They responded, then stood and formed a circle around Ho. What are they doing? Demanded. Protecting my intended mate, said calmly. It is tradition. Until this matter is resolved, you are under my guard, Captain. Ho watched as the ships on the screen repositioned again. They formed a pattern he recognized from military textbooks, an honor guard formation, for protecting something precious. He said quietly, Get Counselor Dongwu on the line now. Already on it, sir, she replied, her fingers flying over her. Stepped closer to Ho, close enough that he could see the individual hairs in her fur, could see the intelligence in her eyes. I will come aboard your ship, she said. We must discuss the courting process properly. Courting? Ho's voice came out higher than he wanted. Of course, said. Her tail swished once, twice. You have claimed me, Captain. Now I must prove myself worthy of you. For just a moment, the corner of her mouth turned up in what might have been a smile. Prepare yourself, my intended. I am a very determined female. As she walked past him toward the inner doors of the ship, Ho caught his eye. His second-in-command looked like she was trying very hard not to laugh. Sir, she whispered, I think you just accidentally proposed to an alien admiral. Ho closed his eyes. Get Dongwu, get the cultural specialists, get everyone. This was going to be a very long day. Counselor Dongwu Nam was laughing so hard he had tears in his eyes. Ho wanted to throw something at him. This is not funny, Ho said. He paced back and forth in the meeting room. Through the window he could see his flagship, massive and gleaming. Oh, but it is, Dongwu wheezed. The old diplomat wiped his eyes. In 40 years of service, I have never seen anything like this. You proposed to an alien admiral by accident. I held out my hand, Ho protested. That's all. Brought up the cultural files on the screen. According to this, bonding rituals involve a formal declaration and a touch during an official meeting, which is exactly what happened. But I didn't know. Ho ran his hands through his hair. Can't we just explain that? Dongwu's smile faded. He became serious again, the way he looked during difficult negotiations. Captain, I've been reading everything we have on culture. If you reject this bond claim openly, it's a massive insult. The kind that starts wars. War, Ho felt his blood go cold, over a translation mistake. To them, it's not a mistake, said quietly. Their device confirmed it. In their culture, you can't accidentally claim someone. The intention doesn't matter, the action does. Ho sat down heavily. So what do I do? For now, Dongwu leaned forward. You play along. Let the Admiral do her courting. Buy us time to figure this out. Courting, Ho muttered. She said she has to prove herself worthy. What does that even mean? The door chimed. Before anyone could answer, it opened. Admiral walked in, her tail high and proud. Behind her came 6 carrying large boxes. Captain said, she bowed deeper than before. I bring gifts, as is proper for the first day of courting. They set the boxes down and opened them. Ho's eyes went wide. Inside were treasures, crystals that glowed with inner light, weapons made of metals he didn't recognize, and something that looked like a star captured in glass. These are from my family's vault, said. Her ears were perked forward, alert and focused. They show my worth, my status. I am not a poor choice for a mate, Captain. Admiral Ho started. Please, interrupted gently. Call me. We are to be bonded after all. Dongwu cleared his throat. Admiral, these gifts are beautiful. You honor us. His attention shifted to the old counselor. Her nose twitched. You are a senior one. Good. You can witness the courting process. She looked back at Ho. I wish to demonstrate my skills. Among my people, a worthy mate must show strength, intelligence, and prowess. Prowess, Ho repeated. He had a bad feeling about this. Yes, his tail swished once. I challenge your finest warriors to combat. When I defeat them, you will see I can protect you and any cubs we might have. Made a choking sound. Cubs, right, of course. That won't be necessary, Ho said quickly. I already know you're a skilled admiral. You command an entire fleet. Tilted her head. You accept my worth without proof. This is unusual, but perhaps human customs differ. She stepped closer to him. Then let us share a meal. I wish to know you better, my intended. There was something in her eyes, something hopeful and cautious at the same time. Ho realized that beneath all the formal words and traditions was nervous. A meal sounds good, he heard himself say. Dongwu nodded approvingly. Excellent, ears perked up even more. I will have food brought from my ship. Our cuisine is, she paused, searching for words, very spiced. Can humans tolerate heat? We'll manage, Ho said. 2 hours later, Ho was regretting those words. The food had brought was delicious, but it burned like liquid fire. He tried to keep his face calm as he ate, but his eyes watered. Watched him with concern. It is too much. No, Ho gasped. He drank water, lots of water. It's good, really. Across the tables, ears drooped slightly. You are lying to be polite. I can smell the distress in your scent. Ho blinked. You can smell emotions. Of course, set down her eating utensil. Can humans not? No, we rely on facial expressions and voice mostly. How strange, leaned forward. Then how do you know when someone is truthful? We trust, Ho said. We listen to words and watch actions. His tail curled around her feet. Your species survived by trusting. That seems dangerous. Maybe, Ho admitted. But it also means we can work with people very different from us. We have to learn to understand them. Something shifted in his expression. Her ears came forward again, interested. Tell me about your world, Ho. Tell me about Earth. So he did. He talked about blue oceans and green forests, about cities that touched the sky and deserts that stretched forever. He told her about humanity's struggles, the wars they had fought and the peace they had finally found. Listened to every word. Her tail moved slowly like it had a mind of its own. When Ho described the first time humans had gone to space, she made a soft sound. Your people are brave, she said. Young but brave, the Empire respects that. Tell me about your world, Ho said. About. His eyes got distant. We have 3 moons. They make the tides very strong. Our cities are built into cliffs and mountains where the water cannot reach. She smiled, showing sharp teeth. We are hunters by nature. Every child learns to track and fight before they learn to read. That explains the warrior culture, Ho said. Yes, smile faded, but it also means we value honor above all else. Us word is their life, to break an oath. She shook her head. It is the worst thing one can do. Ho felt guilt twist in his stomach. He hadn't made an oath, but believed he had. Every moment he played along with this felt like lying to her. "What about family?" he asked, changing the subject. "What's that like for?" His ears flattened slightly. "We bond for life. One mate forever. It is rare and precious." Her voice got quieter. "I am 32 cycles old. Most females bond by 25. I have been too focused on duty, on rising through the ranks." "You became an admiral," Ho pointed out. "That's incredible." "Yes," looked at him. "But it is also lonely. My family wants me to choose a mate from the noble houses to strengthen political ties. I have refused because—" She stopped. "Because," Ho prompted gently. "Because I wanted to choose for myself." His tail swished agitatedly. "I wanted a mate who saw me as, not as Admiral of House, someone who valued me for more than my status." Ho's heart ached. He understood that feeling. He had risen through the ranks quickly, and people always saw Captain first, Ho second. "I understand," he said softly. His ears perked up. "Do you?" "Yes, it's hard when people only see the uniform." For a long moment they looked at each other. Then did something unexpected. She laughed. It was a bright, surprised sound, like she hadn't laughed in a long time. "You are strange, Ho of Earth," she said, "but I think I like strange." The door chimed urgently. His voice came through. "Captain, we have a situation. Multiple ships just appeared on sensors. Pirates from the looks of them." Ho stood immediately. "How many?" "At least 20. They're targeting the diplomatic zone." Was already moving, her warrior instincts taking over. "This is an act of war. They dare interrupt a formal courting." Her voice was a growl. They rushed to the bridge together. On the screens, Ho could see the pirate ships, ugly patchwork vessels covered in weapons. "They're hailing us," reported. "Put them through," Ho ordered. A face appeared on screen. "Well, well, humans and all in one place. Someone will pay good money for both of you." The pirate grinned. "Surrender now and we'll make it quick." Snarled an actual animal sound. "You will regret this insult." The pirate laughed and cut the connection. His ships began to move forward, weapons charging. Ho she looked back at him. In that moment they understood each other perfectly. "Ready to fight together?" Ho asked. His tail lashed, her eyes gleamed. "Always my intended, let me show you what it can do in battle." The battle started fast and brutal. The pirate ships came at them from 3 directions, trying to split their forces. "Move us into defensive formation Beta," Ho ordered. His hands flew over the controls. "Keep our civilian ships behind us." On the secondary screen, he watched on her own bridge. She moved like lightning, barking orders in her language. Her fleet responded instantly, flowing into a new pattern. "Captain said, the ships are moving to flank the pirates." Ho smiled, was thinking the same way he was. "Good, we'll hold the center, draw their fire, let the hit them from the sides." A blast rocked the ship, the lights flickered. "Shields at 80%, someone called out. "Return fire," Ho commanded. "Target their weapon systems." The horizon's edge fired. Blue beams of energy lanced out, striking 2 pirate ships. One exploded in a ball of flame. The other spun away, trailing debris. "Direct hit," cheered. But there were too many pirates. They kept coming, swarming like angry insects. Ho watched his screens, counting ships, calculating odds. They were outnumbered but not outmatched, not if he and worked together. His communicator beeped. His face appeared. "Ho, there is a debris field to your left. Can you use it?" Ho looked at the sensors. She was right. Old ship parts and broken asteroids floated in a dense cluster. "What are you thinking?" "Lead them through it. I will collapse it behind them." Eyes gleamed with fierce joy. "A trap." "Risky," Ho said, "if we get caught in the collapse." "Then don't get caught," his tail swished. "Do you trust me?" Ho made a decision. "Yes, I do." "Good," smiled, showing teeth. "Then fly like your life depends on it, because it does." Ho turned to his crew. "New plan. We're We're going into that debris field full speed. Sir looked at him like he was crazy. Trust me, Ho said. Helm, take us in. Make it look like we're running scared. The horizon's edge turned and dove toward the debris field. Behind them, the pirates howled with victory. They thought the humans were fleeing. They're following, reported, all 15 remaining ships. Perfect. Ho watched his screens. The debris got thicker. Pieces of metal and rock flashed past. One chunk scraped their shields with a screech. Hold course, don't slow down. In the debris field, human ships had an advantage. They were smaller, more nimble than the big pirate vessels. Ho weaved between obstacles, his heart pounding. The pirates followed, but they were struggling. 2 clipped asteroids and had to veer off. Almost through, the helmsman called. Sweat ran down his face. Now, Ho shouted into the communicator. On screen, the ships opened fire, but they weren't shooting at the pirates. They were shooting at the debris field itself. Massive chunks of rock exploded. The explosions created a chain reaction. More debris flew inward, collapsing the field. The pirates realized the trap too late. They tried to turn, but there was nowhere to go. Debris smashed into them from all sides. Ships crumpled. Explosions bloomed in the void. The horizon's edge burst out of the field just as it collapsed completely. Behind them, only 3 pirate ships survived. They were damaged and limping. Finish them, ordered over the open channel. Human and ships fired together. The last pirates didn't stand a chance. In 30 seconds, it was over. Silence filled the bridge. Then someone started clapping. Others joined in, was grinning. Sir, that was brilliant. Ho let out a breath. His hands were shaking from adrenaline. That was all. She saw the opportunity. You trusted her plan, pointed out. Not many captains would fly into a debris field on someone else's word. The communicator beeped again, appeared, and she looked, happy. Her ears were straight up, her tail swishing rapidly. Ho, did you see? We crushed them. We did, Ho agreed. He found himself smiling back. That was good thinking with the debris field. You were the bait that took courage. Expression softened. You flew well like a true hunter. Thanks, Ho felt warmth in his chest. They had fought together, 2 species working as one. It felt right. I must check my ships, said. But tonight we celebrate victory, yes. Yes, Ho agreed. Tonight we celebrate. As image faded, Ho noticed someone approaching. It was Young, the chief engineer. He looked nervous. Captain, can I speak with you, privately? Ho nodded and led him to a side room. What is it, Young? The engineer pulled out a small device. Sir, during the battle I was running diagnostics on all our systems. I found something strange. Strange how? Young took a breath. I found the Admiral's translation chip data. When it glitched during your first meeting, I thought I should check it, make sure it wouldn't happen again. And it was a malfunction, sir. A real one. Young looked miserable. The chip mistranslated. When you said friend and held out your hand, it should have said alliance partner in. Instead, it said bonded mate. Ho felt the floor drop out from under him. You're sure? Completely. I've checked it 5 times. Young wrung his hands. The chip had a damaged language core. It's fixed now, but the damage was done. You never actually proposed to her, Captain. It was just a machine error. Ho sat down slowly. All of this, the gifts, the courting, the formal guards, all of it was based on a lie, a mechanical mistake. Does anyone else know? He asked. No, sir, just you and me. Young hesitated. What should we do? Should I tell the Admiral? Ho's mind raced. If knew it was a mistake, what would happen? Would she be relieved, angry, humiliated? And what about the Alliance? They had just fought a battle together. Human and crews were bonding, becoming friends. Sir, Young prompted. Don't tell anyone, Ho said. Not yet, let me think about this. But Captain, that's an order, Ho stood. Give me time to figure out the right way to handle this. Young nodded reluctantly and left. Ho stood alone in the room, his thoughts churning. The truth was simple. He had not proposed, had not been claimed. Everything was based on a broken machine. They could end this now, laugh it off as a funny story. But would they? Took honor seriously. She had given him gifts from her family vault. She had protected him in battle. She had opened up about her loneliness, her desire to choose her own path. If he told her it was all a mistake, would she feel foolish, used? And what about her crew, her people? They believed this was a real bonding. To discover it was a lie might shame her. On the other hand, continuing the lie felt wrong, deserved the truth. She was proud and strong and brave. Didn't she have the right to know? Ho put his head in his hands. This was impossible. Either choice led to pain. The celebration that night was loud and joyful. Human and crew members mixed freely, sharing stories of the battle. Ho watched them laugh together, saw the barriers between species falling away. Found him on the observation deck. She was alone, her guards left behind for once. "You are quiet," she observed. "Are you hurt?" No, Ho looked out at the stars, just thinking. About joined him at the window. This close he could smell her scent, something like cinnamon and forest air. "About choices," Ho said. "About how one decision can change everything." Was quiet for a moment. "You speak of our bonding." It wasn't a question. Ho looked at her. "Do you ever regret it, the claim?" No's answer was immediate. "Do you?" Ho opened his mouth to speak, then stopped. Did he regret it? The situation was absurd, impossible, based on a mistake. But over the past days he had gotten to know, she was brilliant and fierce. She made him laugh. She understood loneliness. They worked together like they had trained for years. "I don't know," he said honestly. His tail curled. An honest answer, good. She looked at the stars too. "I will tell you something, Ho. When the chip declared the bond, I was shocked, terrified even. I thought you were trying to trap me politically. But you went along with it." "Yes," ears flicked, "because I looked in your eyes and saw only confusion. You had no idea what you had done. That made me curious. What kind of male proposes without meaning to?" "A stupid one," Ho offered. "Laughed, perhaps, or a genuine one, a brave one who fights beside me in battle and trusts my judgment." She turned to face him fully. "I have met many males, Ho. None have looked at me the way you do." "How do I look at you?" "Like I am, not Admiral, not a political alliance, just me." Her voice was soft. "I did not know how much I wanted that until I saw it." Ho's heart ached. He had to tell her. She deserved to know the truth. But looking at her face, seeing the hope and warmth in her eyes, he couldn't find the words. He started, "There's something." "I know," she interrupted. Ho froze, "You know." His ears flattened slightly. "I know it was a mistake. My tech specialists checked the chip 2 days ago." Ho stared at, his brain felt frozen. You knew for 2 days." Nodded slowly. "My engineering team found the error. They brought it to me immediately." "And you said nothing." Ho felt a wave of different emotions, relief, confusion, and something like betrayal. "You let me think this was real." "I wanted to see what you would do." His tail swished low. "Would you continue the lie? Would you tell me the truth? Would you run away?" "That's," Ho searched for words, "that's manipulative." "Yes," agreed. She didn't look sorry. "But I needed to know. You are a stranger, Ho, an alien. My people's future might depend on this alliance. I needed to know what kind of male you are. What kind of leader." Ho felt anger rise in his chest. So this was a test. "Everything is a test." Ears flattened. "In war, in politics, in bonding, we are tested every day. The question is, do we pass?" "And did I?" Ho heard the bitterness in his own voice. "Did I pass your test, Admiral?" Flinched at the formal title. "You were going to tell me. Just now you were about to confess the truth, even though it would have been easier to stay silent." "Of course I was." Ho moved away from her, packing. "Because it's the right thing to do, because you deserve honesty." "Why?" The simple question stopped Ho cold. What? Why do I deserve honesty? Tilted her head. We barely know each other. Our species just met. You could have kept the lie, maintained the alliance, made everything simple. Because, Ho struggled to explain, because that's what being human means. We value truth. We value treating people with respect even when it's hard. His tail lifted slightly, even when lying would prevent a war. There won't be a war, Ho said firmly. We'll explain it was a mistake. Both sides will understand. Will they? His voice was quiet. Ho, do you know what happens to a female who is claimed and then rejected? Ho shook his head. She is marked as unworthy, said. Other males will not touch her. She is assumed to have some great flaw, some hidden shame. It ruins her. That's not fair. No, but it is our way. Looked out at the stars. When news of this bonding spread through my fleet, do you know what happened? The political pressure on me ended. The noble houses backed off. For the first time in years, I was free to just be an admiral, to do my duty without constant demands to marry for politics. Understanding dawned. You want to keep the lie going. I wanted to see if you would choose truth over convenience, corrected. And you did. That tells me more about humans than any treaty could. She turned to face him. Your people value honesty even when it hurts them. That is, rare, precious. Ho sat down on the observation deck bench. His head hurt. So what do we do now? Now, joined him, keeping a respectful distance. Now we decide together, as partners should. We're not partners, Ho said. The bonding was fake. Was it? Ears perked forward. We fought together today. We trusted each other with our lives. We shared our fears and hopes. How is that different from a real bond? Because it started with a lie. It started with a mistake, corrected gently. Machines failed. But what happened after the conversations, the battle, the trust, that was real, that was us choosing. Ho wanted to argue, but he couldn't. She was right. The chip had made an error, but everything since then had been their choice. He chose to be kind to her. She chose to open up to him. They chose to fight together. I don't know what to do, he admitted. Then let me help you think. Settled into a comfortable position. Option 1, we announce the mistake. The alliance becomes a simple treaty between species, clean and professional. And you get marked as unworthy, Ho said. No, I won't let that happen. His tail twitched. Option 2, we continue as we are. Let everyone believe the bonding is real. We maintain the fiction. I can't do that, Ho said. It's lying to everyone, to my crew, to your people, to both our governments. Option 3, said softly. We tell the truth, but we choose to move forward anyway. Ho looked at her. What do you mean? The chip made a mistake, yes, but we are not machines. We can choose our own path. Amber eyes met his. We can admit it started wrong but decide to make it right. We can take time to know each other properly to see if this connection is real. You want to actually try this? Ho couldn't believe what he was hearing. Actually try to be bonded. I want to try being honest, said. With you, with my people, with myself. The bonding can come later or not at all, but I would like the chance to find out. Before Ho could respond, the door chimed urgently. His voice came through, strained. Captain, we have a problem, a big one. Ho and rushed to the bridge. On the screens, new ships were arriving, but these weren't pirates. They were, and they were massive. That's a diplomatic cruiser, said. Her ears went flat. From the High Council. A face appeared on screen. It was another, older than, with silver streaks in her dark fur. Her eyes were cold. Admiral, the woman said, I am High Chancellor of House Thorn. I have heard disturbing rumors about your behavior. Chancellor stood straight, military perfect. What rumors? That you have bonded with an alien based on a translation error. His voice dripped with disdain. That you are pursuing this farce to avoid your duties to the Empire. How did you? His tail lashed once. I have eyes everywhere, Admiral, including on your ship. smile was sharp. This false bonding is an embarrassment to the Empire. You will return immediately and face the Council. I will not, said. I am conducting an official diplomatic mission. You are playing pretend with an alien, snapped. Do you think this makes you look strong? It makes you look weak, desperate. Ho stepped forward. Chancellor, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Ah, the human looked at him like he was an insect. Tell me, Captain, did you truly intend to bond with Admiral, or was it an accident you are too cowardly to correct? The question was a trap. Ho could feel it. If he said it was an accident, would be shamed. If he said it was intentional, would demand proof. I intended, Ho said slowly, to extend friendship to the Empire. What happened after that has been a journey of discovery for both of us. Pretty words that mean nothing, said. The Council has decided. This false bonding is declared void. Admiral, you are ordered to return home. The alliance with humanity is suspended until we determine if you acted maliciously or simply foolishly. You can't do that, protested. We just fought together against pirates. Our crews are working together. I can and I have. Eyes narrowed. Unless you wish to challenge the Council's authority, Admiral. His whole body was tense. Her claws were extended, pressing into her palms. I challenge nothing, Chancellor, but I believe you are making a mistake. Your beliefs are noted and dismissed. His image flickered. You have 6 hours to return to the flagship. If you do not comply, you will be stripped of your rank and arrested. This conversation is over. The screen went dark. Silence filled the bridge. That woman has hated me for years, said quietly. She has been looking for an excuse to destroy me. Why, Ho asked. Because I earned my rank through merit, not politics. Because I refused to marry her son. Laugh was bitter. Now she has her chance. Ho's mind raced. This was spiraling out of control. What had started as an awkward mistake was now a political disaster that could destroy everything they had built. We need to fix this, he said. Both our governments need to hear the truth. The truth that you accidentally proposed and I went along with it, shook her head. That makes us both look like fools. Maybe, Ho agreed, but it's still the truth. Looked at him for a long moment. Then she smiled, sad but genuine. You really cannot help yourself, can you? Always choosing honesty. It's a human thing, Ho said. It is a you thing, corrected, and I admire it. Cleared her throat. Sirs, we have an incoming transmission. It's from Earth. Ambassador Jin Lee wants to speak with both of you. Ho and exchanged glances. Put her through, Ho said. A human woman appeared on screen. She was in her 50s, with kind eyes and steel in her spine. Captain, Admiral, Ambassador Jin said, I have been briefed on the situation. Both of you, and I mean this with all respect, have made a mess. Yes, ma'am, Ho said. However, Jin continued, you have also created something remarkable. In less than a week, you have turned a diplomatic meeting into a true alliance. Your crews trust each other. You fought together. You proved that humans and can work as partners. The Council wants to end it, said. Chancellor wants to end it, Jin corrected, because it threatens her power, but not all agree with her, and not all of us on Earth want to give up this alliance. She leaned forward. So here's what we're going to do. You two are going to address both our peoples together. You're going to tell them the truth, all of it, and then you're going to show them why this alliance matters. How, Ho asked. Jin smiled. By being yourselves, by showing what humans and can accomplish together, by proving that bonds built on truth are stronger than bonds built on tradition. The screen faded. Ho looked at, are you ready for this? His tail lifted high. I was born ready. The question is, are you? Ho thought about everything that had happened. The confusion, the fear, the battle, the laughter. He thought about courage and honesty. He thought about what they could build together if they were brave enough to try. Yes, he said, let's show them what we're made of. The transmission went out to both Earth and simultaneously. Billions would watch. Ho felt sweat on his palms, but he stood straight. Beside him was perfectly still, her ears forward and alert. "People of Earth, people of," Ho began. "My name is Captain Ho. I stand here today to tell you the truth about what happened when our species first met." He explained everything: the handshake, the broken translation chip, the accidental proposal. He saw shock ripple through the watching crowds on both screens. "I did not mean to claim Admiral as my mate," he said clearly. "It was a machine error, a mistake." On the side, people began to murmur. Some looked angry, others looked confused. Stepped forward, "Captain speaks the truth. The bonding claim was false from the beginning." Her voice was steady and strong, but what happened after was real. She gestured to the screens behind them where images played. Human and crews working together, the battle against the pirates, scientists sharing data, soldiers laughing over meals. "We could have stopped after we discovered the error," continued. "We could have walked away, pretended none of this happened. But we chose differently. We chose to move forward together." Ho picked up the thread. "Because we learned something important. Bonds aren't created by words or machines. They're created by choices, by trust, by standing together when it matters." On screen, Chancellor's face was twisted with anger. She stood in the High Council chamber. "This proves my point. They lied to all of us. The alliance is based on deception." "Is it?" Ambassador Jin appeared on the human side. "Or is it based on what came after? Admiral could have rejected Captain immediately. She chose to give him a chance. Captain could have kept the lie going. He chose truth instead." Another stepped forward, an older male with gray in his fur. "I am Counselor Wren of House Waters. I have reviewed all reports from Admiral's fleet. The cooperation between our species has exceeded all expectations. Our soldiers respect each other. Our scientists are making breakthroughs together. All of this in less than a week." "Built on a lie," shouted. "Built on a mistake that was corrected," Wren countered. "There is a difference." Ho took a breath. "Chancellor, you asked if I truly intended to bond with Admiral. The answer is no, I didn't. But I'll ask you something in return. Does that matter?" His ears flattened. "Of course it matters." "Why?" Ho stepped closer to the camera. "Because of tradition, because of rules written centuries ago. Those things have their place, but they shouldn't blind us to what's possible." He gestured to, "I've known Admiral for 5 days. In that time I've seen her courage in battle, her wisdom in negotiation, her kindness to her crew, her honesty even when it hurt her. If that's not worthy of respect, of friendship, of partnership, then I don't know what is." His tail swished once, quick and surprised. Her eyes met his, and something passed between them. "The chip said husband," Ho continued. "But what we became was something better. We became friends, allies, people who trust each other. And honestly, I think that's more valuable than any formal bond could ever be." On the screen, Counselor Wren nodded slowly. "The human speaks wisdom. We value honor and tradition. But the greatest honor is in recognizing truth when we see it. Wasn't giving up. This sets a dangerous precedent. If we allow this, anyone can claim a bonding was a mistake, our entire social structure." "We'll adapt," another voice said. A younger female stepped into view. "I am Commander Lyra, one of Admiral's officers. I served with her for 3 years. In that time I have never seen her happier than these past few days." "Happiness is not the measure of duty," snapped. "No," Lyra agreed, "but maybe it should be considered. Admiral has always put duty first. She deserves the chance to choose her own path." More stepped forward, all from crew. They spoke of her leadership, her sacrifice, her dedication. They spoke of working with humans, of learning from them, of building something new together. On the human side, spoke up. "Captain is the best leader I've ever served under. When he trusts someone, it's because they earned it. Admiral earned it in every way that matters." Other human crew members added their voices. They talked about honor, about learning from a different culture, about the friendships they had formed. The tide was shifting. Ho could see it in the faces watching. People were listening, they were thinking. Ambassador Jin raised her hand. I propose a solution. The bonding claim is declared void as it was based on an error. However, Captain and Admiral are appointed as official liaisons between our species. They will continue to work together to build this alliance properly. No false claims, no forced bonds, just two leaders doing their duty. And if they choose to pursue a real bond later, Counselor Wren asked, on their own terms. Jin smiled. Then that is their choice to make, as it should be. Stood alone now, her supporters silent. She looked around the council chamber and saw she had lost. This is irregular, she said stiffly. So is everything about first contact, Wren replied. We are writing new rules, Chancellor. We must be flexible. The vote was called. The council voted to accept the new arrangement. On Earth, the human assembly agreed. The false bonding was ended. The real alliance began. After the transmission ended, Ho felt exhausted. He sat down hard, his legs shaking. Joined him for a moment, they just sat in silence. We did it, said finally. Yeah, Ho looked at her. Are you okay? You lost the political protection the bonding gave you. I gained something better. Ears perked up. I gained respect. I proved I am more than a political piece, she smiled. And I gained a friend who values truth over convenience. Friends, Ho said. I like the sound of that. So do I. Stood and stretched. Though I must warn you, Ho, as your friend I will be very demanding. I expect frequent communication, shared meals, long conversations about strategy and culture. I think I can handle that, Ho said, grinning. Good, offered her hand, palm open. Then let us begin again, properly this time. I am of House, Admiral of the Empire. I offer you friendship and alliance. Ho took her hand. Her fur was soft, her grip firm. I am Ho, Captain of the Horizon's Edge. I accept your friendship with honor. They shook hands. No devices glitched. No mistakes were made. Just two people choosing to trust each other. 3 months passed. The alliance flourished. Trade routes opened. Cultural exchanges happened. Human and children started learning each other's languages. Ho and met regularly, sometimes on his ship, sometimes on hers. They planned joint military exercises. They negotiated trade agreements. They argued about tactics and laughed about their crew's antics. One day, they stood together at the grand opening of the first joint human military academy. Young cadets from both species stood at attention, nervous and excited. Look at them, said softly. A year ago, they didn't know each other existed. Now they will train together, fight together, protect each other. We did that, Ho said. You and me, we started this. We had help. His tail swished, a happy motion Ho had learned to recognize. But yes, we proved it was possible. A cadet approached, a young female with bright eyes. Admiral, Captain, the ceremony is ready to start. They walked together to the platform. The crowd was huge, thousands of people from both species. Cameras broadcast to both worlds. Ho spoke first. When I first met Admiral, I made a mistake, a big one, but that mistake led to something amazing. It led to understanding between our peoples. It led to friendship. Continued, humans have a saying, to err is human. But I have learned it is not just human to make mistakes. It is universal. What matters is what we do after. Do we hide from our errors, or do we learn from them and grow? Together they activated the Academy's central monument. It showed two hands clasped together, one human, one. Beneath it, words in both languages, built on truth, bound by choice. The crowd cheered. Cadets saluted. Flags from both worlds flew side by side. After the ceremony, Ho and found a quiet spot in the Academy gardens. Brought 2 cups of tea, one earth blend, one spice. I've been thinking, Ho said. He took the tea. He had learned to love the burn, about that first day, about the glitch. Oh, sipped her earth tea. She had developed a taste for chamomile. If I could go back and fix it, I'm not sure I would. Ho looked at her. Is that strange? His ears twitched in amusement. Not strange at all. The glitch brought us together. Everything that came after, the friendship, the alliance, all of this. It might not have happened if the chip worked correctly. So maybe it wasn't really a glitch, Ho mused. Maybe it was fate. Humans and your fate, Tail swished. Believe we make our own destiny. And what does your destiny look like? Ho asked. Was quiet for a moment. Then she said, it looks like this, building something new, learning every day, working with someone I trust and respect. She looked at him sideways. Someone who makes me laugh, someone who values truth even when lies are easier. Sounds like a good destiny, Ho said softly. It is, his tail wagged just a little. She had stopped trying to hide it around him. And Ho. Yeah. The bonding claim was fake, but if someday, far in the future, you wanted to make a real one, her ears colored slightly, darker than usual, I would not say no. Ho felt his heart skip. Admiral, are you saying what I think you're saying? I am saying we have time, said firmly. Time to know each other better, time to be sure, time to choose freely without pressure or glitches or political games. She met his eyes. But yes, someday, maybe. Someday, Ho agreed, maybe. They sat in comfortable silence, drinking their tea and watching the cadets train. Two species learning together, growing together, building a future together. In the sky above, ships from Earth and flew in perfect formation. They had learned each other's patterns, each other's strengths. They moved as one. Ready to confuse some more translators? Asked suddenly. Ho laughed. Always Admiral. She corrected, we are friends, remember. Friends use names. Always, Ho amended. They stood and walked back toward the academy. There was work to do, speeches to give, futures to build, but they would do it together as partners, as friends. And someday, maybe, as something more. But that was a choice for another day. For now, they had proven what mattered most, that bonds built on truth, forged through challenge and chosen freely, were the strongest bonds of all. In the garden behind them, the monument gleamed in the sunlight. Two hands clasped together, two species united. All because a translation chip glitched on the word friend and declared something else entirely. Sometimes, Ho thought, the best things in life come from the mistakes we make and the courage we show in fixing them. And as tail brushed against his hand, gentle and warm, he thought maybe that chip wasn't so wrong after all.